What if the goal isn't retirement? You know, we may be the first generation, us Gen Xers, that think about retirement in a different way than our parents did. And so maybe the goal isn't about just stop working, but to stop working in a way that doesn't drain us. I recently read an article about this group of retired executives in the UK that band together in their 70s to form a nonprofit. They only work on jobs that they want to, they work when they want to, and there's really no heavy lifting in what they're doing, but they're fulfilled and they're picking on projects that they really are meaningful and that they care about. So it's really this idea of retirement from the job that you've had for 30, 40 years or the career that you've had, and stepping away from that, but stepping into something that fulfills you, which is really this term that's being called unretiring and unretirement. So let's talk about it. Hi, I'm Lynne.
Hi, I'm Jice.
And welcome to our channel, GenX Quench. And on this channel, we talk about life for those of us that are over 45 and having a more fulfilling life, whether that's here in the States or abroad. But over here, it's all about living the Quench life. So we're glad that you're here. If this is your first time, welcome. If this is, if you're one of our regulars and part of the Quench crew, welcome back. As always, we invite you to like, share, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and really be a part of our Quench crew. So on today's video, we're talking about unretiring. And before we jump into unretirement, let's talk about the traditional aspects of retirement. Jice?
So when I think about traditional retirement, or at least the stereotype of traditional retirement, that's working for 40 years. And then you stop working, you do things like shuffleboard, golf, play with the grandkids, be still, rocking chair, what else? Relaxing, you have a fixed identity, so your work was in the past and now your grandmom and granddad, etc. And that's kind of what you did. In terms of what we envision, Gen X envisions for retirement, that's more about things like a reinvention of yourselves, having multiple careers. When I think about it, my parents worked maybe 1 or 2 3 companies at the max. I worked 7, so and counting.
And counting, right, exactly.
So we have the gig economy, online jobs or online maybe contract roles, consulting, coaching, mentoring. So all of those sorts of things. So you have multiple hands in the pot in terms of what you're doing, in terms of our vision of unretirement.
Right. Or just what retirement looks like. So it's from that standpoint that, you know, you had this long career and now you walk away from it, and what are you going to do? So,
and one more thing. And if you work till, let's say 60, I'll just round it up to 60. You live till 90 because we're healthier now. What are you going to do those 30 years? So you got to redefine yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you spent 30 years working, but then if you retire, you've got 30 more years ahead of you. So that is a long time to be sitting in the rocking chair. What are you going to do? And there's more opportunities than ever to really choose the work that you want to do. So why are people unretiring? And the main reason really is financial. And a lot of people have to go to work. We understand that because of financial needs. But if you really think about things, the cost of living is extremely high. Inflation, it just costs more money. And, you know, doing it on Social Security or alone, it's not going to cut it. So you have to pull on investments. So people are unretiring. A lot of it is because of financial reasons. I think a recent AARP study said that 48% of people go back into some form of the workforce because of financial reasons. Healthcare. Some people are going back. If you're retiring early and you're retiring before Medicare or that type of thing, you might need to take a job that has health insurance, or you need the money to pay for health insurance. Longevity. A lot of people have not paid into their retirement plans. Their savings aren't where they are. And
pensions are going away.
Right. And if you're 55, 58, 60 and people are living longer and you're going to be living for another 25, 30, 35 years, with the technological advances, healthcare advances, we are planning for a long and fruitful life, but that takes money to do that. And then just the savings pressure as far as retirement, that you know, you used to say, what is it, that you needed to retire with $1 million? If you're
$2 million.
Right, if you're staying in the US, but that's the thing, is that was what we heard 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but that number keeps going up as far as what is that amount that you need to have in your savings account to
Susie
live.
Orman says $5 million is what you need
Okay.
to keep up with the cost of everything. So.
Right. So that number just keeps going up. So a lot of reasons for unretirement are financial in nature. But then there's also the identity and purpose. And many people, once you retire, especially if you've had these jobs, you miss the structure. What am I going to do every day? There's no schedule. The schedule is set by you. You miss community, as far as one of the benefits of working, whether in person or remote, is that there is a team of people. There are others that you're talking to. All of a sudden you retire, and if you live alone, or if it's just your spouse or your friends are still working, where's that community that you have? And then you miss that feeling of contribution and that sense of importance of giving back. And a lot of us have, you know, this adult lifetime of skills and knowledge, and you want to have that purpose and that reason for being, and you want to give it back, because what are you going to do with that? So those are reasons that people unretire as well. And then finally, freedom. It's, you've reached this point, so maybe you're stable financially, maybe you have your community, but now you have the freedom finally, as far as time, to go and choose the projects that you want to choose. You can choose your hours. You can reject anything that's not a good fit. You don't have to do the heavy lifting. You can take and have a meaningful contribution on your terms, because now it's like, I've retired, took my break, and now I'm unretiring and I'm doing the things that I want to do. Case in point, we have good friends of ours that retired. The wife retired earlier this year. The husband retired actually about 6 weeks ago. And we, you know, have been sort of waiting on the sidelines, waiting to see, where are y'all traveling? What are you doing? And he sends me a link to a logo for a new business that he just started a couple of days ago and announced it on LinkedIn. And we all are like, okay, that was like a 6-week retirement and you're jumping back. But it's this freedom. He's taking all the knowledge that he's had from that corporate career, and he's going to do consulting and speaking and just pick up projects as he wants and as it fits into his schedule. So this is this whole idea of unretirement, and I think it's something that we can plan for. That, yeah, retire, maybe take the break, but then what are you going to do with your time? Jice?
I would even say another one along of the items that require you to go back to work is the elimination of social safety nets. You know, now they're going to be like, okay, if you want medical insurance, you got to go back to work, and you got to report in every week of what you did to try to get work. And so with that being said, public housing, that's getting cut. So people are going to have to pay for it when they got heavily subsidized before. So that's just another layer of the whole economic strain that's forcing people back to work. Now, in terms of GenX, how we envision retirement, we kind of see ourselves as semi-retired. We're going to dabble in things. We want location freedom. We want to be able to take advantage of geo arbitrage. You know, there could be seasonal income type things. You know, some people just work during tax season if they're CPAs and things like that, or get part-time work looking at people's books. There are nonprofits to participate in. Some people want to be member boards on nonprofits, etc. Online income generation. You've got the gig economy. What else? Passion projects that you may have, as well as mentoring either kids or somebody young professionals that need advice from seasoned professionals. So those are a few things that unretirement, what that may look like for us. And I'll use ourselves, for example. In this season of trying to prepare when we're ready to retire, we've started our YouTube channel. At this point in time, about 1.5 years now, we coach, or Lynn coaches. I may coach unofficially. She coaches for a business. We travel. We've been working on getting our residency, so we have that location freedom globally, and can live in a less expensive environment.
Right. And I think that's the key thing, is that you can almost plan your unretirement now, and that's the purpose of this video, is that, you know, think about where do you want to retire, and that's why it's like the location freedom. That's going to be very important to us one day, that we can do things from wherever we want to in the world. And the YouTube channel as another source of income potentially, or just sharing our knowledge and giving back and building community.
Right.
And the community that we have is virtual in nature, but it's still, we have in-person friendships, but we also have this virtual community in the Quench crew. So I think that's the thing, is that you can plan for your unretirement now, even if you're newly retired, or retirement is in the future. But, there's also just the reality check. Some people may not, I don't want to say ever retire, but we have friends that are like, oh, I'm going to be working until the day that I, leave this place. And that is a reality. And so this idea of retirement or unretirement may not be for everyone. Some people, there are financial constraints. There are responsibilities that you have, whether it's for children or elder parents, that might keep you working. And that's okay. I think that's the thing that Jice and I are very strong on, is that you have to know your situation.
Right.
You have to talk to those that, you care for, your partners, your spouses, and make the plan for you. Because, some people are going to be forced financially to keep working.
Right.
But we do also want to warn that burnout is real, and that we recognize that. And so I think that all this is really covered in the sense of planning and talking and discussing. And what does retirement look like for you? And maybe you still are working. Maybe there is no break, but there is that opportunity that I don't have to work this high pressure job, or I don't have to stay working in this industry, or I don't want to work in this city. I want to do things. And that's the real key thing about planning for that future state. And making the plan for it, putting the timing, and whether that is true retirement where, hey, I'm not going to do anything. Maybe that's taking your foot off of the gas pedal, or maybe it is a retirement where I'm taking the break, but I'm going to take that opportunity to build something for my life that does give me financial freedom, that does give me purpose, and that does use the skill sets, but it does it on, my time, and I have the freedom and the autonomy to choose. So with that, anything else?
Yes. So in the comments section, let us know, if money was no object, would you just totally stop working? Or part 2, what kind of work would you do if it was up to you? So let us know.
Yeah. What's your retirement plan? What's your unretirement plan? Are you intrigued by this idea of unretirement? And let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Hopefully this has been something to give you food for thought, and we definitely appreciate you. If you found value in this video, please give us a thumbs up. Share it with somebody that you know that might be dealing with this situation right now, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and become a member of the GenX Quench crew. We appreciate you all. Definitely leave a comment. We read each one. We respond to most of them, and as time allows. And with that, we'll say adios, sign off, and we'll see you on the next GenX Quench video.
Take care.
Bye-bye.